O.J. Simpson, 24. Good morning, Central New York.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Some heavy rain overnight and more rain expected. Maybe some rumbles of thunder today.
Yeah, that's the case. We're in this pretty rainy weather pattern, and with a strong low pressure out to the west, we could be seeing some rumbles of thunder for today. And matter of fact, let's take a look at where the rain showers are taking place right now. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We're seeing a bit of a lull in the rain temporarily. The winds are strong and it feels very mild out. You probably don't even need a jacket. It's currently around 61 or so degrees in the Mohawk Valley. Some locations a little cooler, but moral of the story is that it's going to be a mild start to the day, and we're not going to change too much temperature-wise throughout the afternoon. The winds, though, will be strongest over the next few hours, then be a little bit less strong throughout the day today. But we're not done with the winds just yet as well. You can see over the next 12 hours, rain, embedded rumbles of thunder here and there, and temperatures climbing a few degrees into the low to mid 60s. We're down to the 50s tonight and eventually into the 40s. And then the rain showers we're seeing today could mix in with some snow in the highest elevations overnight into early tomorrow morning. We'll talk about that potential and what locations even could see some accumulation in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Thank you very much, Eric. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast never more than 10 minutes away.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. The time now is 5:12, and of course it's time for the Munson CommuteCast as we took a look at road conditions to and from work today. Starting out, a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. A brief lull in the rain showers temporarily, but more rain is surging in from the south. The winds are a bit strong this morning, and you can see the roads a little bit damp. There is some ponding on roadways, especially the typical spots along the arterial in Utica. And again, the drive times besides some ponding on roadways are not too bad. You can take a look at some of these average drive times and drive speeds here on our Munson Traffic Tracker drive time graphics here. And you can see here finally Route 28 heading north and south, looking at drive times roughly around 30 or so minutes. And again, this morning, ponding on roadways, some rain showers falling here and there, and potentially some rumbles of thunder. This afternoon, same story, on and off rain showers. Going to be a muggy, rainy, but overall not too bad of a day travel-wise. We are tracking, though, cooler weather as rain eventually turns over to snow in some spots tomorrow. Let you know exactly where in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Decision 2024, Senate.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. The weekend is almost here, and unfortunately, though, we're not talking about a dry and sunny weekend, more so cool, breezy with some rain and snow and then additional rain heading into Sunday. But we got some dry weather following the weekend by next week. Cooperstown, a bit damp and a bit mild. Currently 62 degrees. Start out your day today down in the Southern Valley. 61 officially at Griffiths and Rome. And this is why we're talking about it being somewhat humid out. This is probably the highest dew point we've seen all year long, and it's definitely more noticeable, the moisture in the atmosphere at this point. A stronger south wind of 15 or so miles per hour, and those strong winds will remain strong over the next few hours, gradually weaken a little bit this afternoon, and they return again tomorrow. More on that in just a second. Radar showing a brief dry slot here in central New York before more rain showers surge in from both the south and the west. And temperatures hovering a few more degrees above average. Normal high this time of year of 55, normal low of 35 degrees. And again, it's breezy this morning, 8 to 9 a.m. Stronger winds from the south. The winds will be not nearly as strong by this afternoon, but as we head into tomorrow, looking at a strong westerly wind between wind gusts of 30 to 40 or so miles per hour, and the winds will gradually diminish by Sunday. Bigger picture, we've got strong low pressure out in western New York at this point, bringing in another strong warm front, and following that, Multiple fronts will push through our area as low pressure exits central New York to the east, and wraparound rain showers will enter cooler air, and that will cause the potential for some snow in the highest elevations heading into tonight and Saturday. But again, today it's a mild start. Temperatures in the 60s. We're talking about rain showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder in some of those embedded fronts. And following this afternoon, we cool down a few degrees into the 50s by 5 p.m. Then cooling down into the 40s overnight, eventually 30s at some locations by 6 a.m. tomorrow. And notice here we got some blue on our skycast showing some snow showers falling. And overall, this will be the pattern heading into tonight and then eventually tomorrow morning. You can see here, lowest elevations, probably not going to see anything regarding accumulation, as our snowfall accumulation forecast calls for mainly the highest elevation to see something, but that won't last too long as we're back in the 50s by Sunday. Next 12 hours, rumbles of thunder with some rain showers, temperatures in the 60s for tonight. We're back down into the 40s with some lingering rain and some snow mixing in. 7-day forecast. We're back into the 60s by next week, Monday and Tuesday, looking pretty nice, but again, that looks to be the outlier. We're looking at more rain arriving by Wednesday and Thursday of next week. The overall weather pattern favoring April showers, and I was mentioning to Gary at noon yesterday, even though this is a rainy pattern, it's good news for crops, for lawns, for flowers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the lack of snowfall, we didn't have any snow melt, and, you know, with that.
Yeah, as long as we have enough moisture in the soil, that's good news for crops.
We don't want to go into a drought, into the summer.
Or we don't want the rain to fall and then have it freeze.
Yeah, that too. Well, that too. All right, thank you very much, Eric. The 20th annual Citroen Celebrity Classic Wheelchair Basketball.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Thank you again for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
And as we mentioned, a little bit windy out there today, just a little bit breezy.
Yeah, walking in was definitely challenging. I had to close the door manually because the wind blew the door open.
Yeah.
And before I get to weather, because you mentioned you're filling in for Gary, there are folks that have not seen our News Channel 2 at noon shows in the past few days. Gary has been back on the noon shows. He is slowly recovering from hip surgery, and he's doing better. Yeah. But next week, he'll be starting some of the sunrise shows. So Tuesday, is that correct, or Monday?
Thursday, Friday, I thought.
Okay, I'll have to check.
Well, double check that. I believe it was Thursday.
But Gary
Friday.
will be back next week, so for those of you missing him, don't worry, he's not gone. He's still here.
Yep.
But back to the weather. Rain showers this morning. As Ben mentioned, maybe a few rumbles of thunder this afternoon. Let's look at where the things are taking place at this point. We're talking about rain initially not too widespread. Overall, a bit of a dry slot moving in, but areas to the south, we're talking about heavier rain showers, primarily south and west. That line of rain will be slowly heading into our local area within the next few hours. Currently a very mild start to your day. It's 61 degrees, feeling a lot more like a early summer tropical day out there, but the humidity is noticeable, but not too bad. Breezy out there, wind speeds of 15 miles per hour at Griffiths and Rome, and over the next 12 hours, they warm up another few degrees with potential for some rumbles of thunder mixed in with some of these rain showers. And then following that, we cool down into the 50s tonight as rain could mix in with some snow in the higher elevations. We have a look at what we're expecting for tonight and into tomorrow and throughout the entire weekend in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben.
Eric, thank you very much. The Biden campaign.
Welcome back. The time now is 5:45, and of course it's time for the weather photo of the day this morning. And what a better way to wrap up the work week with a great shot of a daffodil taken in Lee. Signs of spring are on the way, and in some cases those daffodils actually bloomed in March when it was cool out. We had some snow showers arriving that put a damper on some of that as well. But again, it was a overall pretty mild winter, a cool start to spring, but things are trending more on the warm side now, so we'll probably see more and more of these daffodils as spring continues on. Submit your spring photos to WKTV.com/weather/pics in the spring tab for your chance to have your photo featured right here on News Channel 2 at sunrise, and then of course on News Channel 2 at noon. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are tracking some spritzy light rain showers this morning in some locations, but more widespread rain is on the way today as low pressure surges over central New York. And those temperatures today hovering a few degrees into the low to mid 60s for highs. We're down into the 50s as we head into this evening, and a bit of a cool down as we approach tomorrow. We'll talk about that cool down and what to expect for the rest of the weekend in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. With the warmer weather slowly upon us, it's
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. As we take a look to the forecast for today, well, it's calling for some rain, embedded rumbles of thunder. Overall, a pretty unsettled day, but it is a pretty warm one to start out. Currently in 60s right now. Downtown Utica, a bit damp, some light rain taking place at this point with some heavier rain showers to our south and to our west. And again, it's a mild start. 61 officially at Griffiths Rome. The humidity is more noticeable. We're at dew points in the 50s, which isn't technically humid or muggy, but when we get to the upper 50s to low 60s regarding dew points, that's when you start to notice that humidity in the air. A decent wind of 15 miles per hour from the east-southeast, and on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, the winds are a bit breezy and the rain showers are slowly continuing to arrive once more. And a matter of fact, we have a few rain showers out here in western New York and a few just out closer to Albany right here. And these rain showers will primarily stick both east and west, while more surges from the south as we approach the mid-morning. Temperatures hovering a few degrees into the low to mid 60s for this afternoon. Still above average for this time of year, normal high of 55. And again, the winds are breezy today. The winds will be a little bit less breezy by this afternoon. Some wind gusts south of the Mohawk Valley, but then by tomorrow, the strong south wind turns to a strong westerly wind. And we're talking about gusts as high as 35 to 40 or so miles per hour. The bigger picture, we've got a surge of warm air from a strong warm front, a strong low pressure. Notice the length of the frontal boundary right here in the red lines indicating that warm front. Following the passing of this low pressure for this afternoon, this evening, and tonight, we're going to see multiple waves or fronts. These fronts, called troughs, are higher up in the atmosphere, and this will bring with it additional rounds of moisture, rain, and then eventually, as cold air moves in from the northwest, potential for some snow to fall in the hilltops. And so in our Skycast today, again, we're talking about on and off rain. Surges of rain here and there. This afternoon, windy, temperatures in the 50s with more rain showers arriving again tonight. And then following that, we will start to see some of those rain showers turn over to snow in the highest elevations. But regarding accumulation, we're not looking at a whole lot. Matter of fact, the valley will be staying well above freezing for most of this event, and only really the hilltops, the highest hilltops, will see any accumulation from this event on Saturday. But it's temporary. We warm back up into the 60s and 50s by Sunday and Monday. Next 12 hours, rain with some embedded rumbles of thunder and temperatures in the low 60s. For tonight, we're down into the 40s with some lingering rain in your 7-day forecast. Rain mixing in with snow on Saturday, still some lingering rain on Sunday, but we dry out Monday and Tuesday temporarily before we return to more rain by Wednesday and Thursday. So overall, a bit rainy, but pretty warm too.
I give it a 5 out of 10, that forecast for the week.
Okay.
50-50. We got 2 days of sun, the rest rain. I'll
And
give it a
also
5
too,
out of 10.
like these days aren't complete washouts.
No.
So if it's 60s and not a complete washout, you know,
Yeah.
it's typical April here.
Yeah.
New York.
All right. Thank you very much, Eric. Still ahead, we take a look at
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning once again. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
A lot to get to this morning, but first, the weather. A lot of rain on the radar, and the possibility for some rumbles of thunder today, right?
Yes, that's right. And this morning, well, we're not talking about a whole lot of rain, some
No.
spritzy rain temporarily, but yeah, if we take a look at the radar, there's some rain on the way, and it's not going to go away at least for today, tonight, and pretty much the start of tomorrow. Let's take a look at the radar and see where things are shaping up right now. First off, the bigger picture, zooming out a little bit. We're a bit of a dry slot here in the Mohawk Valley, southern valleys, and potentially some of the North Country, but we're seeing some light sprinkles take place there. But notice to our east and to our west, we've got some lines of some heavier rain showers that will push through central New York within the span of this morning and parts of this afternoon. Again, it won't be a complete washout from sunrise to sunset, but we're talking about on and off rain throughout the day today. Well, we're up a degree, and then the past hour at Griffith and Rome, it's currently 62 degrees at 6 a.m. this morning, so it's a very mild start to your day today. You don't really have to wear anything more than just a rain jacket for your morning commute. Maybe with the wind out there, though, you might want to grab maybe a windbreaker or something a bit heavier. It is 20-mile-per-hour wind speeds in Rome, so the winds have picked up, and the temperatures still, again, in the 60s with some on and off rain today and a few rumbles of thunder possible as some few fronts move over our area. Then by tonight, we're down into the 50s and 40s. Highest elevations by tomorrow morning could see some snow mix in. We're not done with the snow just yet. We'll let you know exactly what locations see it and how much could be expected in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. Firefighters spent much of
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. As you saw in the KTVE Tower Cam, the camera is shaking a little bit. The winds have picked up, and aside from the winds, the rain is still falling in some spots. So just take a look at the Munson commute cast as you head to work today. First off, radar, bit of a dry slot temporarily, but we got some more rain showers moving in here and there over the next few hours, and roads a little bit damp. There was some ponding on the arterial early this morning, but it has gradually dried up a little bit. Roads still a bit damp. Here are some drive times to what you can expect for roads all across our local area. For 5S east and westbound, Route 49 eastbound and westbound, and then finally, if you're in Otsego County, Route 28 from Cooperstown to I-90, and then lastly, Route 12 from Utica to Remsen and back. And this morning, well, it's a mild start. It's a bit breezy and overall some on and off rain, but aside from some ponding on roadways, not too bad of a start to your day today. No real impacts expected for travel. Same thing for this evening. On and off rain, mild temperatures, and overall looking pretty quiet, at least with drive conditions. Following today, though, and tonight, that's when some snow can mix in the higher elevations. We'll talk about the potential for that, and then when we finally see some dry weather in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you. Decision 2024.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. Friday is here, and so far it's a pretty warm start. It's noticeably humid out, and temperatures are in the 60s. A live look in downtown Utica from our Nexus camera right now. Roads a bit damp. The rain has dried up a little bit over the past few hours, but we're not done with it just yet. Currently, it's 62 very warm degrees at Griffith and Rome. A strong easterly wind of 20 miles per hour. This wind will gradually shift more southerly by this afternoon, and then a strong west wind arrives by tomorrow. You can see here, dew point 58 degrees, so we're about 2 degrees from 60, which goes from the dry air to, I would call it the muggy category, so the humidity is more noticeable this morning. On top of that, too, sunrise is just under 10 minutes away. Bit of a dry slot here in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, but we're not done with the rain as we're taking a look to the west and east. To the west, some rain showers, which will gradually move its way into our area as we head to the next few hours. Temperatures, again, climbing a few degrees into the low to mid 60s. Warmer than average for this time of year and a bit rainy, so it's typical for April standards to see some rain showers. By this morning and this afternoon, the winds will gradually calm in some spots, especially in the Mohawk Valley, but that strong south wind will be in those hilltops south. By tomorrow, we'll have a strong westerly wind between 35 and 40 mile per hour wind gusts. So it's still going to be a blustery next few days. The bigger picture, we are tracking the arrival of that warm front surging north and a strong low pressure out to the west. And following this initial round of rain, looking past beyond this to, I would say, this afternoon and this evening, a dry slot here and there, but wraparound rain showers will move in yet again, and cold air will also mix in overnight into early tomorrow morning, which could cause a potential for some snow to fall in some locations. But on our Skycast, again this morning, a surge of rain showers giving way to some dry slots here and there, with more rain yet again arriving tonight. Some of these rain showers, by the way, could produce a rumble of thunder or two. There is some elevated instability. But by tomorrow, a bit of a snowy start in some locations, especially on those hilltops. Mohawk Valley might be missing out on most of that snow as those temperatures do remain in the upper 30s to low 40s. And then following that, things eventually warm back up again by Saturday afternoon. How much snow could be falling? Well, a look at the hilltop accumulations. So far, that looks to be where the only snow will accumulate, as again, the surface is damp and it's warm and it's going to be very difficult for snow to stick. But over the next 12 hours, temperatures in the 60s with some on and off rain throughout the day. We're down into the 50s again tonight with some rain showers switching over to some rain and snow by tomorrow morning. 7-day forecast. We call in for 45 at the high tomorrow, 53 for Sunday. We're up into the 60s by Monday and Tuesday, so overall pretty mild start to the week next week. But it's briefly dry. We're back into the mid-60s again by Wednesday and Thursday, but rain showers arrive once more. So we're in this rainy weather pattern with a few days of sunshine.
April showers bring May flowers. Already starting to see some flowers starting to bloom. You mentioned it yesterday as we were looking on some of the Mesonet cams. The grass is green. It was not like that last week.
Yes,
so
a lot more noticeable. That's the silver lining. It's raining, but this is
really
healthy for the grass, for our flowers, and for the crops.
All right, thank you very much, Eric. Hey, be sure to like us on Facebook.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us once again this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
It's really windy out there today.
Yes, a very windy start to the day. I mentioned the past half hour that, last hour that opened the door this morning to the newsroom.
And ripped it out of your hand.
There goes the door.
I had that happen
I had to take both arms and shove it, especially the wind up here in Smith Hill. It's always a lot more windy than in some cases in the valley.
It gets furious up here. That wind gets furious.
And before we get to the forecast, I wanted to mention too, because there were a lot of questions too regarding Gary. And where is he? Well, if you were tuning into the News Shinsu at noon shows, Gary has been filling in at anchoring once more. He is still recovering from hip surgery, and so far so good. He will be going back to the sunrise shows Tuesday, next Tuesday. So you can see him back on the anchor desk once more. So just for those of you concerned that he's not here anymore, no,
he's still here.
He's here. He's just slowly getting back to the swing of things. He's still helping behind the scenes as well. So a big thank you to Gary. And of course, if you want to wish him well, you can send letters to our mailing address here, because of course he will greatly appreciate
5936 Smith Hill Road in Utica.
Yes, and now back to the forecast. Well, we're talking about rain this morning and winds. Bit of a dry slot temporarily, but you notice we're surrounded by rain both north, south, east, and west. And overall, we'll see on and off rain throughout the day. But there is some sunshine peeking out briefly. Griffiths and Rome, it's a 62-degree start to the day today. And it is windy, though. East wind of 20 miles per hour. And over the next 12 hours, again, on and off rain, a potential for some rumble of thunder or two. And following this afternoon, we cool back down to the 50s and 40s tonight. Some higher elevations down into the 30s as we're tracking the potential for some snow to mix in those higher elevations. We're talking about that, plus the entire weekend forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. All eyes on Arizona as the...
Welcome back. The time now is 6:44, and first off, taking a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are tracking a few rain showers moving through central New York early this morning. However, they are light in nature. The heavier rain is to our east and to our south. as well as some locations out to the west. This dry slot will end as more rain moves through by the mid to late morning as overall on and off rain continues throughout the day today. And a quick look at our weather photo of the day this morning. Even though we were talking about rain showers and overall unsettled weather for most of the next 7 or so days besides next Monday and Tuesday, it's good news for our local flowers, our local crops, and our local lawns. Great shot submitted here in Lee of a daffodil, and a lot more of those daffodils starting to bloom around this time. If you want to submit a spring photo like this one, send it to the link on top of your screen right there, wktv.com/weather/pics. We'll showcase here on News Channel 2 at sunrise and News Channel 2 at noon. Again, temperatures this morning are starting out in the 60s, a mild start. We warm up into the mid to low to mid 60s by this afternoon, and then a cool down by tonight. We'll talk about how cool it gets, and we see a warm up again in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. With the warmer weather slowly available.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, welcome back. Happy Friday, everyone. Today is starting out pretty mild. Temperatures in the 60s with some spritzy rain showers here and there, but overall the widespread rain has ended temporarily. Alive at downtown Utica. It's a bit damp out there this morning. Currently it's 60 degrees, so you don't really need a heavy jacket this morning, maybe just a rain jacket, but overall it's looking to be a pretty mild day today. And the radar, we're showing a dry slot here temporarily in the Mohawk Valley north and south, but to the east and to the west, you can see here, rain showers slowly filling in, and we'll see on and off rain throughout the day today. Temperatures peaking in the low to mid 60s this afternoon, but something to mention too are the dew points. We haven't really talked about much this winter because in wintertime, usually we don't really care too much about humidity. The dew points are very low, but it's definitely noticeable, the moisture in the air today. You probably walk outside, it feels a lot more like a summer morning with those, I would say near muggy conditions, but overall still pretty, I wouldn't call the humidity here today anything more than just slightly muggy. Weekend forecast calls for breezy conditions, rain and snow starting out on Saturday, temperatures in the 40s. A little warmer for Sunday, less wind, dry start with yet again more rain arriving in the afternoon. It's still a bit breezy for the next few days, windy for this afternoon after the strongest winds this morning come to an end, and then stronger winds arrive tomorrow from the west, wind gusts as high as 35 to 40 miles per hour. Bigger picture, we're tracking a strong low pressure moving into our local area, bringing a surge of rain and winds, and following that, a dry slot temporarily by this afternoon before more wraparound rain showers move through again tonight and into early tomorrow morning. By the way, some of these rain showers this morning could produce some rumbles of thunder with elevated instability. But on our Skycast, we're seeing those rain showers move through this morning, this afternoon. Again, talking about on and off rain, a bit misty, but not looking at a complete washout from sunrise to sunset. More rain arrives again tonight, and then cool air vects in, and the rain could mix in with snow in the highest elevations. We're not talking about anything notable in the Mohawk Valley as those temperatures stay well above freezing into the upper 30s to low 40s. So any locations that do see accumulation will be isolated to those hilltops, and even then it will melt as we enter the 50s by Sunday. But again, the next 12 hours, it's mild, it's damp, and it's rainy, on and off rain throughout the day. And tonight, we'll return to more rain showers into the overnight hours. Some spots could see some snow develop. And your 7-day forecast, it's 50s on Sunday, 60s Monday and Tuesday with dry weather temporarily. We're in the upper 60s by Wednesday and Thursday with yet again more rain arriving, which it's damp, it's cloudy, it's gray out there, but the rain is helpful for our local flowers, local crops, and local grass.
As we saw earlier in your weather photo of the day.
All right. Beautiful daffodil.
Yeah, it is. Thank you very much, Eric. The time now 6:53, still ahead on Sunrise.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
A lot to get to this morning, but first, the weather. It's a windy one out there. We can hear it rattling the vents here on Smith Hill. It ripped the door out of your hands as you were coming in this morning, and it's shaking the tower cam. How long is it going to stick around for?
Yeah, we got a windy start to the day. The winds diminish a little bit this afternoon, but we return to some strong west winds by tomorrow. So we're stuck in this windy, unsettled, rainy pattern. But again, today's not going to be a complete washout. Let's take a look at the radar right now and see how things are shaping up. I noticed on our Nexus camera a few minutes ago, we saw a brief peak of sunshine. Unfortunately, though, that is taken over by generally overcast skies. And we are in this brief dry slot here this morning, but notice out to the west, some rain showers are slowly continuing to move in, primarily from the southwest, I should say, as low pressure continues to surge into our local area. Currently 62 degrees at Griffiths Rome, 62 in Syracuse, 61 in Hamilton, and around the state those winds a bit gusty, south-southeast at 21 miles per hour in Hamilton. And over the next 12 hours, we're talking on and off rain, potential for a rumble of thunder or two as we approach the late morning, early afternoon. And then following that, on and off rain throughout this evening. Rain returns again tonight, and as cool air mixes in, that could produce some snow in the highest elevations. We'll talk about the potential for that, and then eventually when we see some dry weather, at least for a few days in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away. Firefighters spent much of the afternoon yesterday.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. As we take a look to the weekend, well, it's looking at least initially cool and windy, and we might see some peaks of sunshine before more rain arrives heading into Sunday. Before we get to that, let's talk about the forecast for today, though. Live look at downtown Utica. It's damp, it's misty, and it feels a little humid out, too. Currently at 60 degrees, a very warm start to your day today. And on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, initially a dry start, but to the south and west, we've got some more rain showers slowly starting to move in what will be a unsettled day with on and off rain. But again, we warm up into the low to mid 60s this afternoon, and as I mentioned, it feels a little bit more humid out. It's noticeable, not too bad, near the muggy category with dew points in the upper 50s. Typically in the summertime, this is pretty, I would say typical, or I would say more on the dry side regarding dew points, but at least in springtime, definitely a bit more noticeable. Wind gusts today, well, it's going to be a windy morning. Wind gusts as high as 20 to 30 miles per hour this afternoon. The winds will diminish a little bit before returning again by tomorrow morning, and wind gusts tomorrow will be as high as 35 to 40 miles per hour, and this will be roughly between 4:30 and 5 p.m. in the Mohawk Valley. And with today, we're seeing a brief dry slot this morning, but notice as more rain fills in around noontime and then drying out a little bit once more. Potential for some rain as we head into this afternoon and this evening. On and off rain becomes more widespread as the wraparound rain showers from that low pressure moves through heading into early Saturday morning. Now, with this though, we're talking about cooler temperatures moving in the higher elevations that could cause some snow to fall. Now, how much snow are we talking? Well, with the warmer temperatures near the surface, the rainfall today, and it's going to be difficult pretty much for snow to accumulate aside from the hilltops, as you can see here on our snowfall accumulation map. But again, by Sunday, most of that should melt as we're back into the 50s. Next 12 hours, on and off rain, temperatures in the 60s with pretty damp conditions. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies give way to additional rain showers, and your 7-day forecast, brief period of dry weather Monday and Tuesday before we're back to rain by Wednesday and Thursday of next week.
Now, and sadly, we continue to be in the midst of this wet spell.
Yeah, that's right. We're still dealing with some rain this afternoon in some spots, a little more than others. Some heavy downpours took place in parts of Otsego and Herkimer counties. Let's take a look at the radar where those downpours are set up. You notice a line going from Hamilton County all the way to as far south as just to the east of Cooperstown. And that's been the case for the past few hours. As a matter of fact, one of these downpours right here zooming in produced some thunder and lightning, especially just south of Stratford. Some rolls of thunder took place right there between German Flats and Minden. But the bigger picture is the heaviest rain showers will be over and done with within the next few hours. Noticing right here a line of downpours going into, in fact, let me go back and zoom in, heading just past Rome into areas east of Rome, through parts of the Mohawk Valley and north and east. Following that, though, again, zooming in and zooming out, we got a dry slot setting up here, and this will keep those downpours at bay for most of the rest of this afternoon and early evening. However, wraparound rain showers will arrive from the west, and that will be our weather maker for tonight. Currently 66 balmy degrees out there at Griffiths and Rome, and wind speeds a bit gusty so far this afternoon, and we remain in the 60s for the rest of the next few hours. We drop down into the 50s, 40s, in some spots as low as the 30s, which could cause some snow showers to fall in the highest elevations. We're talking about that, and potentially only see some dry weather in that full forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Brand new this noon, Oneida County has filed a lawsuit.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Happy Friday. We are tracking a few downpours mixed in with some sunshine, as if Central New York weather wasn't weird enough. Let's take a live look in Cooperstown at this point. After several downpours, drying out a little bit. Notice the ponding on roadways along Main Street there. It's currently 58 degrees, though, so not too bad of an afternoon so far, besides, of course, the downpours. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, a live radar. We're tracking two of them, one that's been consistent in parts of Fulton, Montgomery, Hamilton, Herkimer, and Otsego counties, right along the border of all five of those counties, and another round of rain showers that are going to be zooming in within the span of the next few minutes. In fact, it's already starting to fall in parts of Utica. As I zoom in on the radar right about here, you can see where that line of rain is currently taking place. And so far, again, heading into West Utica, approaching East Utica, closer to Frankfort within the next few minutes. And a live look at downtown Utica from our Nexus camera facing the west. You can kind of see in your screen, if you look closely, the rain starting to fall. In fact, it just started within the past few minutes or so. Not quite sure if I'm seeing any of that sleet mixed in there too, but so far it's looking to be a bit on the rainy side. But back to the radar, because following this, a dry slot sets in, and those downpours will be non-existent for the rest of this afternoon and this evening before more wraparound rain showers arrive from the west by tonight. And so far, those temperatures still pretty mild in the Utica area in the mid-60s. We're cooling down into the low 50s, upper 40s by tonight. The humidity is probably noticeable out there today. Dew points in the upper 50s. Feels not quite muggy, but again, humidity is noticeable. And the gusts still strong in some spots, but as expected, they are dwindling down a little bit as we head into the evening and overnight. But by tomorrow, we're tracking a stronger westerly wind, especially in parts of the Mohawk Valley, with wind gusts as high as 35 to 40 miles per hour. But to our skycast, here came those downpours early this afternoon. Things are going to dry out temporarily with maybe just some light sprinkles and drizzle here and there. But wraparound rain arrives tonight. Cooler air advex in, and we could be seeing some snow showers developing in the higher elevations and mixing down a little bit closer to some lower elevations. But with such warm air today and clouds moving in, it's going to be very, very hard for those temperatures in the valleys to fall anywhere below where accumulation is expected. But again, the next 12 hours, we're talking about rain. At least this morning was rain showers. This afternoon, we're quieting down with mostly cloudy skies and a few light sprinkles. But again, by tonight, wraparound rain returns, some snow mixing in the higher elevations, and your 7-day forecast, well, it's breezy and cool for your Saturday. The coolest of the next 7, though. We're back into the 50s by Sunday. After a dry morning, some rain showers arrive late Sunday. Then we dry out by Monday and Tuesday. Hopefully some nice days before we're back to more rain by the middle of next week, which again is good news for flowers, for lawns. let's try to find the silver lining in all the rain we're seeing over the past few days.
Definitely in the dry spells, it's pretty warm out today, so get out there and walk when you can.
Oh yeah, in between the rain showers, again, not complete washouts, so if we got dry weather, go ahead and walk.
Yeah. Eric, thanks. Well, a new report published by the Sea Road. Eric Gage joining us, and you continue to get some photos from the eclipse in.
Yeah, and this one I think is one of the best photos we got submitted. It was a time lapse of the totality, going from when the sun kind of looked like a fingernail right here to absolute totality. And if you want this photo, head to my Facebook page. The photo is there; you can download it. But zooming into it, so you guys can see the entire photo. There's something that you can see in the path totality. As a matter of fact, there's a little red triangle at the bottom of that black circle. That's a solar flare. You don't see those when the sun is so bright. And again, this is something that a lot of planets, not only in our solar system or in the entire galaxy, it's so rare to have a moon the exact distance, the exact size of the sun to produce a ring like that. So just be thankful that we have a beautiful eclipse setup here on Earth, and that we get to witness it at least a few times in our lifetime. Radar showing downpours pushing through parts of the Mohawk Valley, and beyond this, rain showers will lighten up a little bit. As we zoom out, we're noticing a dry slot shifting in, and following that, wraparound rain will develop as we head into this evening and tonight. But overall, most of the heavier rainfall is over and done with for most of us following the next 1 to 2 hours. 66 degrees officially in Rome, so it's a pretty pleasant temperature out there. Still a bit windy out, and again, our temperatures will cool back down into the 50s and 40s tonight. Rain develops once more, and in some spots they return to rain and snow. We're going to talk about what locations could see snow and if that'll last into the rest of the weekend in that full forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The state budget now on.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. It's been a bit of a rainy Friday for some of you. In fact, heavy downpours taking place in some of our counties. A live look at downtown Utica. A downpour has just passed through. The roads are a bit damp. There's some ponding on some of the roadways. But you can notice out in the distance, in fact, even previously on our Cavy Tower Cam, that the downpours are heading into the Mohawk Valley east of Utica at this point. It cooled down a little bit. We're down into the upper 50s here in the Utica-Rome region. And a live look at the Ortho Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We've got 2 lines of downpours. First one over the counties of Hamilton, Herkimer, Fulton, Montgomery, and Otsego counties, right along the border. And then another one that just passed through Utica, which is still heading north and east. Behind that, though, we got a dry slot setting up behind here, and for the most part, these downpours will be over and done with, and we'll just see maybe just some light sprinkles here and there for the rest of the day. Following that, more wraparound rain showers will arrive tonight. Temperatures, again, has been very pleasant in the 60s, aside from those rain showers, above average for this time of year. Normally, we're at a 55-degree high. Dew points or humidity has been noticeable today, but again, not too high. And the winds, well, they've been a bit breezy. The winds have calmed a little bit this afternoon after a very windy morning, but following this, we got a strong westerly wind tomorrow. Wind gusts as high as 35 to 40 miles per hour. And following this, we'll look at a less windy Sunday. But again, to start out, we've got those rain showers pushing through. Following that, looking at a bit of a dry slot here and there for this afternoon, this evening. Then tonight, rain showers turn to snow in some higher elevations as cold air aloft moves in. But with the 50s and 60s in the valley and clouds moving in, it's going to be very hard for these temperatures to fall in the valley, enough for snow to accumulate. So we're thinking that accumulation will stick to primarily higher elevations for tonight. Then by tomorrow morning, these wraparound rain and snow showers will gradually diminish. And then following that, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s for Saturday. And then additional rain showers move through on Sunday. Overall, a pretty unsettled weekend. But again, this morning, it was a very mild start. We're still in the upper 50s, low 60s, the rain showers, then turning to cloudy skies. Then cloudy skies give way to wraparound rain and snow heading into the overnight hours tonight. Your 7-day forecast. We've got the coldest day of the next 7 on Saturday, but we warm back up into the 50s by Sunday, 60s by Monday and Tuesday, the driest of the next 7 before yet again more April showers return by Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Gary?
Thanks. We are back with News Talk right now. Today's guest is Kathy.
Weekend with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Well, it's not going to be a great weekend for any outdoor projects that you're trying to get done. Maybe next weekend. We're talking about cloudy skies and rain. Let's take a look at the radar this evening. We're still seeing the tail end of low pressure that's been bringing us rain throughout the day. We're going to continue to see a few showers here as we head into tonight. All of this is eventually going to come our way. This is scattered lake effect rain showers. These will turn over to snow showers heading into tonight. Yes, I did say snow showers. We're not expecting much of an accumulation, but again, don't be alarmed to see that in the sky first thing tomorrow morning. 56 degrees is our current temperature. The wind direction has changed. We've got some cooler weather on the way. The wind's going to pick up tonight, and it will be around Saturday. Winds from the west between about 35 to 40 miles an hour. Snow showers in the air Saturday morning. I think those are generally harmless. Sunshine, warmer weather returns as we head into Monday. This evening, showers, breezy, temperatures in the 50s. Again, it is going to be a pretty chilly weekend, along with rain continuing into Sunday. Look at the forecasts coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Oneida County has filed a lawsuit against Governor Hochul and New
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. Happy Friday. We're getting ready for the weekend. Weather-wise, it's not going to be a great one to be outdoors. If you're trying to get an early start on spring projects, this weekend just really not offering much. Let's take a look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Scattered showers in the wake of a cold front. It's still looking wet this evening. The rain is a little bit less intense than it was earlier today. We're looking to the west, and there's more scattered showers. This is all heading in our direction as colder air builds in from the west. The winds are going to be picking up as they turn into the west over the next couple of hours. In downtown Utica, we're sitting at a temperature of 56 degrees, and it is going to be pretty chilly as we head into the start of the weekend. A high of only 41 degrees on Saturday. That's a temperature you would typically see in the middle of March. By Sunday, we climb back into the 50s. Both days look wet. Looks like the windiest day is going to be tomorrow. The winds will become lighter on Sunday. Wind gusts presently 22 miles an hour from Rome, but look to the west. Wind gusts are up to 43 miles an hour out towards Buffalo, 36 in Rochester. Again, the winds are going to be picking up as we head into this evening and tonight. Peak wind gusts locally overnight about 25 to 35 miles an hour. The windy day is Saturday. A west wind between 35 to 40 miles an hour. It's below the limits for damage, but it is going to make for a not so comfortable day to be outdoors. I think you'll need the snow brush tomorrow with some light snow in the air in the morning. I don't expect the snow to cause any big issues traveling wise, and a lot of that has to do with the warm ground. As we look at the radar and satellite image, colder air starts to work in from the west tonight, and you can see this is turning over to snow in the upper Great Lakes. Again, that's going to be around tomorrow, especially in the morning. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, scattered rain showers turn over to a few snow showers tonight. I think our Skycast is kind of overdoing this. If we do see snow in the air, it's going to have a hard time sticking with temperatures above freezing, especially during the day. But the higher elevations may see a light coating and maybe a very slushy inch or two of accumulation. Heading into tomorrow, again, a windy day, unsettled. We do get a chance to dry out heading into tomorrow night. Sunshine briefly Sunday morning. The next weather maker moves in from the northwest, bringing more rain. Temperatures Sunday afternoon in the 50s. Rainfall totals between this evening, tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Thinking a general half an inch to an inch region-wide. Not enough to cause any flooding concerns locally. Rain switching over to snow showers tonight, low of 39. Tomorrow, just a chilly, raw day. Snow showers turning over to rain showers, windy, high temperature 41. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather improves Monday and Tuesday, sunshine, a couple of nice days, but then we're back to more April showers. with temperatures in the 60s here for the middle of the week.
Maybe the weather's going to be bad this weekend because there are some procrastinators on their taxes.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
I'm trying to look at the upside, right?
And connect it all, because Monday is tax day and many Americans, well,
In this half hour with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
If you're looking to get out and do some spring projects, this is not going to be the great weekend to do that. Maybe getting the garden ready. The weather is looking not so great. Rain, wind, and just downright chilly both weekend days. But the weather does improve for Monday, and it looks like we'll have a return to sunshine. Unfortunately, not in time for those of you that have the weekend off and want to get stuff done. Look at the temperature trend again with the wet weather around. It is going to be chilly. A high of only 41 on Saturday, and that's not factoring in the wind. The wind's going to make it feel more like 30s, but it does warm up because it is that time of the year. On Sunday, we're up into the 50s, and then we'll be into the 60s as we head into early next week. We're tracking some showers out there. It's been a wet stretch of weather. It will continue to be so here over the next couple of days. If you want to try and sneak in that dog walk, maybe make it relatively short. Temperatures will be in the 50s this evening. Lucky from Little Falls is tonight's featured dog that's brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. We've got to look at that weekend forecast coming out. Back over to you.
Bill, thank you. April is Parkinson.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
We are tracking a windy, chilly, unsettled weekend. Rain both Saturday and Sunday. Highs on Saturday, yeah, that's not a typo, only 41. The weather not looking great if you're trying to get a head start on outdoor spring projects. This is not the weekend we recommend you do that. It might get a little bit better next weekend, but if you can have any flexibility in your schedule, Monday and Tuesday would be a lot better. The winds will be picking up throughout tonight. The winds tomorrow, wind gusts between about 35 to 40 miles an hour. This will be the windiest stretch of weather here for the next 7 days. That wind primarily coming in from the west. This is how it impacts the temperature. High temperatures tomorrow in the low 40s, but with the wind, it feels like, well, close to 30, if not upper 20s at times, especially in the afternoon. So again, just a chilly, raw, windy day, and with not only that, but the mix of some rain and snow here. Thankfully, it doesn't last. By Sunday, things look better. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Stern Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, scattered showers will continue in central New York. The weather remains unsettled. The live look in downtown Utica, temperature of 51 degrees or 56 degrees. You can see the roads are wet. Again, winds are starting to pick up from the west. Those will be here as we head into tonight. Skywatchers checking in. Temperatures in the 50s. Whitesboro 56. Barneveld 52 degrees. Forestport 49. Eric and Inlet 49 degrees. Bill and Old Forge 46. Donna and Norway 53. And Worcester, Carroll checks in with 50 degrees. A cold front rolled through earlier today. It produced some local downpours, and that front has now moved to the east. Behind it, we've got some cooler weather starting to build in. You can see that switch over, a little bit of blue showing up just to the northwest of Toronto. That's some colder air working in aloft. That's going to create a changeover from rain to snow as we head into tomorrow. Now, snow in April, it's always something that gets everybody's attention, but really isn't going to have much of an impact here. We're looking at surface temperatures above freezing. The ground's still pretty warm, so it really shouldn't cause any driving issues. We might see some minor accumulation in the hilltops, but even then it doesn't last because temperatures are going to warm up over the next couple of days. Again, just unsettled weather tomorrow, on and off rain and snow showers. We do get a chance to dry out on Saturday, and then I should say Saturday night. By Sunday, the weather looks nice to start, but then the next area of low pressure swings in. That brings another round of rain with high temperatures in the 50s. Tonight, a low temperature of 39. A rain turns over to snow showers. The winds pick up. It's a windy day tomorrow. Snow turns back to rain. A high of only 41. Storm Tracker 2's 7-day forecast. Rain on Sunday, especially in the afternoon, 53. Nice on Monday and Tuesday. Sunshine, temperatures in the 60s. And the next round of rain moves in for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with highs in the low 60s. We'll be right back.
Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Yeah, so we're stuck in the rain today. Unfortunately, this rain is not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. More scattered showers continue to approach from the west, and we'll be stuck in these throughout tonight as well as tomorrow and even into Sunday. We don't really get a chance to dry out this weekend. The bigger picture shows lake effect rain showers starting to build in across the west, and that's heading in our direction. Current temperature is 56 degrees. The winds turning into the southwest. The winds are going to be picking up as we head into tonight. It's a windy day tomorrow. High wind gusts will be high, not damaging, but we're looking at about 35 to 40 miles an hour. Heading into Saturday, again, some rain showers, even some snow showers in the morning. The weather does start to improve as we look ahead. Heading into this evening, showers, breezy, temperatures in the 50s. We're tracking the wind and the rain this weekend, along with the chilly temperatures. Look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Oneida County has filed a lawsuit against Governor Hochul.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking unsettled weather this weekend. Let's take a look at the weekend forecast. It's chilly Saturday. If you're trying to get out and get an early start on outdoor spring projects, this is not the weekend to do that. I'm not really seeing much in terms of breaks in the weather. Maybe Sunday morning will be dry enough to get outdoors, but for the most part, it's looking to be an indoor weekend. Highs only in the low 40s tomorrow. We've got not only rain, we might even see some snow, and the wind is going to be around, and it's going to make it feel even colder than the high temperature. Sunday is better to be outdoors, but still, we're tracking rain in the afternoon. Temperatures warmer with highs in the low 50s. This is what the wind does tonight. It's going to be picking up from the west. As we head into tomorrow, peak winds look to be about 35 to 40 miles an hour from the west. So a windy day. It should be below the limits of causing damage, any significant damage or power outages. Looking at the wind chill tomorrow, that is going to be a factor here, again, with a 35 to 40 mile an hour wind with temperatures in the upper 30s. It's going to feel more like upper 20s to low 30s, so just a chilly day tomorrow. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Rain showers approach from the west. This is lake effect rain that will be taking place into tomorrow. Live look in downtown Utica, temperature of 55 degrees, an unsettled day. We made it into the 60s earlier today before the rain came in. And now the winds will be coming in tonight. We can see wind gusts out to the west between about 35 to 40 miles an hour. Again, we're expecting similar conditions tomorrow afternoon. Our sky watchers, our neighbors checking in with the temperature. Bob and Clinton, 58 degrees. Curtis, 49. Inlet, 49 degrees. Donna, Norway, 53. Mark and Milford, 52. And Richfield Springs with 52 degrees. Low pressure continues to slide in from the west, again driving our weather today. Cold front moved through earlier, and now we've got the cooler and unsettled weather to contend with as we head into the weekend. Rain showers switch over to some snow showers Saturday morning. I think Skycast is a little ominous here. The snow that we do see will have a hard time sticking with temperatures above freezing and a warm ground, so I'm not expecting any travel issues with this. The higher elevations could see a light coating of snowfall by the end of the day. It's a windy, cold afternoon with temperatures in the 30s. We do get a break in the rain tomorrow night before the next round arrives Sunday afternoon. Total rainfall ranges between about a half an inch to an inch throughout the course of the weekend. Rain switching over to snow tonight, low of 39. Snow switches back over to rain tomorrow, a windy and cold day with a high of only 41. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Another round of rain Sunday afternoon, 53 for the high. The weather looks nice on Monday and Tuesday. Sunshine, temperatures in the 60s. April showers are back beginning Wednesday.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. Team USA now has their eyes.
First, your news with Jason Powers.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. It may have been a rainy on and off the last couple of days, but the temperature's kind of been nice. All that out changes tomorrow. Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis with a first look at our forecast tonight. And the changes come in the form of chilly temperatures.
Yes, and the wind is going to be picking up too. In addition to that, we're still talking about rain. Let's take a look at what's going on out there tonight. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. And again, we are looking at scattered showers that continue across central New York. The rain to the west is starting to turn over to some snow just south of Buffalo as colder air starts wrapping in from the northwest. Our current temperature is 52 degrees, and temperatures are going to continue to go downhill as we head into tonight. The winds pick up. It looks windy tonight and Saturday. Peak winds 35 to 40 miles an hour. Snow showers move in Saturday morning. Sunshine, warmer weather returns as we head into early next week. A mix of rain and snow tonight, low of 39. We're tracking again, not the greatest outdoor weekend here in central New York. A look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Decision 2024.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are taking a look at the weekend forecast. A little chilly to start the weekend. High temperature of only 41 on Saturday. A mix of rain and snow showers, breezy conditions. Sunday, the weather improves a little bit. I think we're dry in the morning. It's not quite as chilly. We're into the low 50s and it's less windy. We do have to deal with some rain here as we head into Sunday afternoon. Live look in downtown Utica, temperature of 51 degrees, getting a chance to dry out somewhat before the next round of rain moves in. It's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, and there is another shift in the wind. We're going to see some rain accompanying that wind shift, and then it gets cold and windy as we head into the day tomorrow. In fact, that blue on the radar just south of Buffalo is some snow that's starting to mix in some of the higher elevations. Windy conditions to the west. The winds are going to be picking up as we head into tonight. Let's look at the winds tomorrow. Wind gusts between about 35 to 40 miles an hour in the afternoon. From the west, again, a windy day ahead. The wind is going to make it feel cold, colder than the air temperature. The air temperature tomorrow in the low 40s. Here's what the wind chill does. Factoring in the wind, it'll feel more like upper 20s to low 30s throughout the day. So again, just a good day to be indoors here for Saturday. And if you do want to be outside, if you do have any projects that you have to get done, looks like Sunday morning is going to be your best bet. Radar and satellite image showing low pressure to the north, bringing in that cool air along with the rain. And again, this will be working its way westward heading into tonight. Rain showers switch over to snow showers overnight. Temperatures start out tomorrow morning in the upper 30s. Rain and snow showers continue throughout the day tomorrow. I think Skycast's kind of overdoing this. I think the snow, if it does fall, won't be sticking. It's just too warm at the surface. Higher elevations could see a light coating. Tomorrow night, the weather does dry out. The winds calm down. Sunday morning looks okay. We're dry. Temperatures start at the mid-30s. The next round of rain arrives on Sunday afternoon with high temperatures in the low 50s. Rainfall totals between tomorrow as well as Sunday looks to be about an inch of accumulation across the region. Rain switching over to snow tonight, low of 39. Snow switches over to rain tomorrow. It's windy, it's cold, 41 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast, 53 on Sunday. Rain showers, especially in the afternoon. Monday and Tuesday look nice, sunshine, temperatures in the 60s. Rain returns on Wednesday.
Well, we just got to get through tomorrow.
That's going to be the worst of it.
Of course. Yeah. All right, thank you. Coming up.
News with Jason Pallas.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. It may have been a rainy on and off the last few days, but the temperatures have actually been pretty nice. That changes tomorrow. Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. He's here with the first look at the forecast, and that change comes in not just rain, but chilly temperatures, right?
Yes, chilly temperatures and the wind. We're going to be picking up wind here as we head into tonight. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. And again, we're tracking some on and off rain showers. The rain is coming down a little bit heavier to the west. And in fact, it's even turning over to snow showers in some of the higher elevations south of Buffalo. Our current temperature is 51 degrees. That south wind at around 11 miles an hour. The wind direction changes into the west as we head into tonight, and the winds pick up. It remains windy throughout Saturday. Sunday features more rain. So this weekend is generally looking to be a washout, but it does get warmer as we head into early next week. Tonight, rain and snow, a low of 39. Again, tracking a chilly start to the weekend. A look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Decision 2024. Vice President Harris was in Arizona today as part of the Biden campaign.
The The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are tracking a chilly weekend. Highs only in the low 40s on Saturday with a mix of rain and snow showers. It's windy. Wind gusts on Saturday 35 to 40 miles an hour. Sunday looks a little bit better, but we're still dealing with rain, especially in the afternoon, and it's still on the cool side with highs in the low 50s. Less wind on Sunday compared to Saturday. Live look at downtown Utica, a temperature of 51 degrees. We're tracking another cold front moving in from the west. This leading edge is producing more rain. To the west of it, it's cold enough where that rain is turning over to wet snowflakes in higher terrain in western New York. So things are going to change. Tonight, the winds are going to be picking up as that cold front moves through. In fact, look at the wind speeds. Rochester, Buffalo, 33 miles an hour. The winds tomorrow will be similar. Peak wind gusts 35 to 40 miles an hour, especially in the afternoon. The prevailing wind direction comes in from the west. The wind is going to make it feel chilly. The wind chill tomorrow looks to be only near 30 during the day. In fact, at times in the upper 20s. So not very mid-April-like here in central New York, but it's not going to stay like this. We're going to be seeing, again, some warmer weather ahead. All of this being driven by low pressure, the center of it to the north, and again, this is going to influence our weather throughout the weekend. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, rain showers turn over to some wet snow showers tomorrow morning. This looks worse than I think it'll actually play out. I think we'll see some snow in the air, but with the ground being warm, it'll have a hard time sticking. And I don't really see it accumulating much. The higher terrain, yes, we could see maybe a coating to an inch of accumulation, but even then, it melts pretty quickly this time of the year. This precipitation comes to an end tomorrow evening. We do get a chance to dry out tomorrow night. A brief window of dry weather Sunday morning before the next area of low pressure drops in from the north, producing more rain and another washout here as we head into Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. Rainfall totals between what happens tomorrow and what happens on Sunday look to give us a total of about ½ inch to an inch of rainfall. So another soaking event here. And yeah, unfortunately, the timing's not great for those of you that want to do any spring projects outdoors. This does not look to be a good weekend for that. Rain changing to snow tonight, low of 39. A windy day tomorrow as snow turns back to rain, 41. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Temperatures in the 50s on Sunday, but again, another round of rain in the afternoon and evening. A lot nicer on Monday and Tuesday. Sunshine, temperatures in the 60s. Our next round of rain returns Wednesday, lingering into Thursday and Friday.
So here's what we'll do. You and I will work this weekend, and then we'll take Monday, Tuesday off.
If we